Today they have the cheapest Chinese 4x4 ATV of the season, and now we are going to test it. Let's go! Hi there, as usually it's me, just a voiceover. You're watching Review Machines, and I'm so glad to see you in this beautiful spring. The winter is over, and it's time for the various ATVs on the channel. Do you like this topic, guys? Let me know in the comments, by the way. And we begin with this cheapest quad, cause it's always interesting to find out what cheap ATV is capable of. But firstly, we as usually review the design and the construction, so let's start, my friends. In previous season, we reviewed similar quad, and at first glance it looks almost the same. It's called Bison, by the way. Personally, I think this quad still has that classic rugged look, just like a real workhorse. No flashy stickers or extra nonsense you see on a lot of Chinese cheap quads. The design is iconic, mostly thanks to those clean boxy headlights. I think a lot of people will appreciate this kind of simple style. Bison is a two-seater quad. It's 23-35mm long, 11-44mm wide. The drive weight is 345 kilos. It's time to start it up. The Bison is powered by 390cc engine with 27 horsepower and liquid cooling. At idle it sounds pretty quietly. It has a classic CVT setup with gearbox and low-range gear. I've got to say, the gear shifting is surprisingly smooth. Even on much more expensive quads, the transmission can feel a way clunkier. It also has a reverse gear beep, a nice safety touch. The suspension is independent, with ball joints in the front, with dual shocks. In the back it has got double A-arms. First impressions? It's a comfortable ride with good travel. Even on bumps like this it doesn't bottom out. But we will know more as we keep testing. It has on-demand 4-wheel drive. There is no diff lock in the transmission, no surprisingly taking into account the price. Let's give it a try. Driving in the rear-wheel drive is a fun, especially when you're engaged at the low range. There is so much torque, and on this wet dirt, tons of fun. It's also worth noting that this quad has EPS, electric power steering. It makes handling super light and effortless. Alright, let's switch it to 4-wheel drive and see how it does. In 4-wheel drive you can't drift around like that anymore. The quad really digs in and holds its line much better, which is exactly what you'd expect. The engagement is quick and precise, and there is a nice clear icon on the dash showing which mode you are in. Our version comes with 25-inch mud tires as an option. The standard setup is all-terrain tires. You get front and rear racks, and the rear one has these super handy grab handles for the passenger. Check out the heavy-duty bumper, a winch is standard, and you can control it either from the handlebar or with the remote. There is storage in the front and back, plus a hitch receiver. The display is great, big and bright, with clean graphics. The numbers and icons are large, and it has auto brightness. All the info you need is right here. Under the seat you can see the snorkel for the VT, and the LED lights are excellent, front and back, with all the usual modes and daytime running lights. Even with both of us being around 190 cm tall, we fit comfortably on the quad. There is enough room, and the Bison handles the weight without any issue. And the first drawback I've noticed so far is the turning radius. It's pretty wide, as you can see here. Let's head to the Asphalt, it's not far. Well, it's obvious, on Asphalt this quad is rather dull. And it's clear taking into account its price and small engine. For all that, if you don't need an insane acceleration, it feels quite decent. It feels solid and handles easily. The ABS here is speed sensitive. It cuts out above 40 km/h to give you more road feel. As for the top speed, here is some footage from last summer when we tested it on all-terrain tires. It hit 72 km/h, which is pretty good for it. The specs say 80, and after some time it will probably get there. For now, I'm really impressed with the brakes. The Bison might be a good choice for a utility quad. On one hand it's affordable, but on the other it comes with everything you need. 4-wheel drive, 2 seats and a winch, so it's not for fun, it's mostly for work. In my opinion, the power is enough for most beginners in the ATV world. If this is your first quad, or if you are coming from something like 200cc, you will be happy with it. Especially if you are riding solo most of the time. The suspension feels pretty decent. This is a budget-friendly quad, but the suspension performs surprisingly well. There is plenty of travel, it goes well on the terrain full of roots like this, and it never bottoms out. So the suspension is definitely a plus for the Bison. As for the downsides, like I mentioned, the turning radius is pretty wide. Then it doesn't have a diff lock, and sometimes it feels lack of power. Anyway, let's head towards some off-road terrain. Unfortunately, even though it's early spring, we have had freezing temps lately, so our usual off-road section is still frozen solid. But since we are here, let's give it a shot. First off, with 250mm of ground clearance on those 25-inch tires, it's enough to get through most quad trails. And if we get stuck, we've always got the winch, standard equipment, remember? By the way, this Bison we are testing is pretty well prepared for off-road adventures. It has got mud tires, a sealed CVT and a snorkel for the air intake. The only thing to keep in mind, no diff lock. But you do have low range, so even in thick mud there is good torque. The quad is also relatively light. Dry weight is 345 kilos, which is a big advantage. Maybe we will do a proper hard off-road test a bit later. Let us know in the comments if you want to see that. So the new Bison is a cheap utility quad, one of the most affordable in this class. It has all the essentials, including a winch as standard. The Bison is a decent option for both recreation and work, but the engine is small and not very powerful for 4x4 quad. As to the prices, this version without power steering is about $7,000. The version with EPS is about $7,500. Well, let's go today, my friends. Thanks for having a ride with us. Please post your comments what you think about this quad. Consider watching another hour video about similar vehicles. Stay with us. There will be many more interesting materials here. Goodbye.